dear aspirants, the much awaited UPSC prelims has been over yesterday. Many of you were eagerly searching for the answers, the answer keys, as well as many of you were thinking about what would be the expected cutoff this year. Say, here we are going to go for a quick analysis of the yesterday's question paper, the GS question paper particularly, and come at a scientific conclusion of what the cutoff may be, right? Say here, if you look at this year's question paper, there are many opinions about it. Many people say it is too tough. Some people say it is moderate. But irrespective of what others say, I would say that this paper is quite a tough paper. Of course, that's what UPSC is all about. You cannot expect an easy paper from UPSC. And if you ask at the nature of this paper this year, I would say this is a very balanced question paper. So that this paper is particularly not biased towards any of the subjects. We will see about the number of questions and the nature of questions asked here, right? But I say that it is not biased towards any particular subjects. Say, in previous years, UPSC may be asking too much questions from a particular subject or too much of current affairs. Here, unlike the other years, here it is a very balanced paper, I say. Say, how balanced it is. Say, if you look at this thing, say, the analysis says, static questions versus the dynamic questions or current affairs, they say. Say, it comes around, that is the static portion comes around 76 questions this year, and the current affairs or dynamic portion comes around 24. That means nearly 3/4 of the paper is conventional and static, and 1/4 is dynamic. So, which means, right, so it is an old formula which UPSC follows. So, from our times, maybe the 2010 and that area, where we can predict questions from each and every area. And similarly this year, right, the UPSC has gone for a balanced paper of 3/4 static and 1/4 dynamic. And the dynamism that too, it's not right pure dynamic paper, which includes recent current affairs, the past right, events, or the 3-4 years of continuous events, the schemes, etc., etc. So here, when you look at this paper, right, it is, again I say, a well-balanced paper. And the nature of questions. At the outset, it may look tough, but if you go deeper and you look at the things, many people say there is no choice or there is no chance for elimination. Last year too, there is no elimination chances, right? This year too, it came. And to the surprise, this year, the statement questions came in a different format. So previously, the statement questions would be like 1 only, 2 only, or 1 or 2, or both, something like that. This year, right, in the above statements, 1 statement is correct, 2 of the statements are correct, 3 of the statements are correct, right? All are correct or none is correct. So a new format has been introduced. But here I would say that, right, though the UPSC got rid of elimination, but it's not completely true. For example, I would say, in the question involving the election of president, there are 4 statements given. Okay, right? Then the first statement is definitely wrong. Yes, so it is about the nominated members too. And we do not know whether the 3 statements are true. But here, when you look at the second and third statement, they are logically, right, so contrary, or they are quite contrary to the, right, so meaning they convey. Therefore, here, definitely one might be wrong. And based on that, we can arrive at an answer that 2 statements are right. So that means, right, if you apply your mind here, we can solve this question paper. Many of my students have done it. Say, for example, the students who have attended around 80 questions, right, and those who regularly clear, they have crossed 60 plus questions here. That means, right, if you fill the question paper, if you, right, so get into the question paper, I would say that 60 plus questions is possible, that is correct questions is possible out of this 80 questions or 80 plus, right? But these are all exceptional cases. An average performance, right, an average performer who had a decent preparation for the past 1 year, which includes the previous repeaters as well as the fresh aspirants, we will arrive at a cutoff. So before that, I will say that the questions the number of questions. So then only we can say what is the cutoff. I say it may look tougher, but still, right? So you look at the question paper, right? See here, if you look at the topmost number of questions come from economics this year. That means it's both, I am saying both including this current affairs as well as the static portion. 15 questions from economics. Okay, right? Or it also includes agricultural economics. Then polity, it was 30 questions. And these 13 questions, you look at the thing, they were much easier. Say, we can say only 3 questions, right, are like tricky. But most of the questions, the 10 questions are easier. Here, I say that, right, so well-prepared candidate would not have, right, so made any mistake here. And then science and tech. Actually, this is one thing which came as a surprise. Say, it contains questions which are of core science or core scientific principles, including science and tech. Say, some areas in defense and current affairs are easy, but most of them core areas, that is, the core science and tech principles. So, which means that only those people who prepare, right, so by the book, I say, right, say UPSC, right, so always says, or always gives a syllabus. And those who go for wider preparation, irrespective of whether the question is asked or not, would have definitely done this well, and particularly the science students would have done well. And this year, the current affairs, the international events, it is not only about, right, so India, but about events which also include places, right, and the international, right, so occurrences like some event and the places in which they occur, and some 3 to 4 map questions also came. For example, the Ukraine, the Congo Basin, and other things, right? So, international agreements, events, and places has been asked, right? So, for the past 4 years, they are not finding it, but this year, it was done. It is purely, I say that, it is a current affairs and international oriented current affairs, which definitely a person who had regularly followed the newspaper or current affairs for 1 year can alone answer. Then, enrollment. Again, like science and tech, this is pure subject-oriented questions, and it involves core principles and also core concepts and like the species names, specific names of the birds, animals, as well as the plants, the flora and fauna. Again, unless and until you have sufficient knowledge in environment, so people would not have done it. Then history. So actually, INM, Indian National Movement, and modern India occupies a prime place. But this year, if you look at this history question paper, there are only 12 questions which the ancient India dominated. And much to the surprise, they are asking from South Indian history, including art and culture, the Sangam literature, and other things. And also, in medieval India, you got some 2 to 3 questions. And from modern India, again, only 3 questions. So, the ancient India dominated with 2 things in art and culture, Jainism and Buddhism. Say, these questions, more or less, person who has sufficient knowledge in history. Because I would say, if you have gone through NCERT, definitely one would have answered this history question also, right? And then the general knowledge. Say, to put it, geography and history. So there are 12 questions from geography. Okay, right? And in this geography, again I say, the questions are only from core areas. Say, that is like the tropical climate, then about the minerals, extractions, right? And then about, right, so the geographical phenomena, map these questions and other things. Again, the core geography. But again, I would say, right, if you are sufficiently prepared for geography, traditional geography, right, I would say, traditional geography, then again you can manage it. And again, general knowledge is one to say. Say, like the sports award, about our national flag, right? Then the world-related events. So, it's came around 11 questions. Say, this is what new to UPSC. It's not new to UPSC. Actually, we have seen it in our times. But here, right, so in the recent time, this is new, where it has gone for GK. On the whole, if you look at the 100 questions, right, it's being dispersed, right, maximum 15 questions to 12 or 11 questions in other areas, where I say the paper is judiciously being distributed. Again, right, not all the people have good knowledge in all the subjects. I would say GK definitely, right? Only half of them will know what the answer is. So is the current affairs, because you should have a regular follow up here. Regarding the other areas, right? Those who have or those who have prepared well are strong in core concepts alone can manage. Which means, right? Even though 60 plus % is possible here, but on the end, right? What is the net result here is that, say, I have a sample of 100 students interview. So from yesterday. So that's why I came late with this expected cutoff. So definitely I would have come yesterday evening. But why today? Because I spoke to my students, right? So, and those who cleared already, and those who are freshers, so I expect to clear, right? So when I asked them, so I got a sample survey of 100 people who have given the prelims, and based on the sample survey, I am coming for the expected cutoff. So that means that anyone who have attended may be strong only in 3 areas, whatever the areas may be. So they would have done well in 3 core areas, right? It may be either economic, polity, or geography, or it may be economic, polity, or history, right? Or else, right? So it may be current affairs, GK, or polity and others. That means that, right? Anyone decently prepared student would have done around 50 plus questions, right? But considering the negative mark here, right? It is not possible to cross 100. So that means that, right? So here, the average performance lays between 42% to 47% among the well-prepared candidates. 42 to 47, I am saying. So I am talking about the after the negative marking. But this is about a small sample size. But if you go at the knowledge level and about the other things, so in various areas and the method of preparation, it may vary, but the variation may not be much. So based on that, what I would say is that, right, you see, this is the last year cutoff, and comparatively speaking, this year's question paper is slightly tougher than last year's paper, because the tough in the sense not about the nature of questions, it is about, right, the choices here. So again, this year, the statement question also contains assertion and reason. So this is something which again the UPSC brought back, which means that you are not sure about many things, right? Though the questions are easy, you are not sure about many things, which means here the cutoff for the compared to the last year, the number of vacancies is less, and this year the number of vacancies is more, 1162, which means that here it is likely to come down from the last year cutoff. Last year the cutoff is 88.22 for the OC and 82.83 for the EWS and 87.54 for OBC and 74 for SC and 69 for ST. This year it is expected to come down. So what might be? Again I say, based on my sample survey, right, I am predicting this as the cutoff, where for the OC, the cutoff may be around 85. People will say plus or minus 2. But I personally believe that based on the performance of my students, it may be minus 2. That means the cutoff would be around 83 to 85. And for the EWS category, again I say, this year more number of people got EWS certificate and more number of competing. Therefore again here, the EWS, it will be around 78 plus or minus 2, right? Because I see more number of EWS students this year. Okay. Then OBC. The cutoff will be around 84 minus 2. So it may be at what? That is, it may be around 82 to 84. And for the SC category, it will be 72. So minus 2, that is 72, 72. And for ST category, again 68 plus or minus 2. So which means this year the cutoff will definitely come down. That means those people who are around 80 plus, they can definitely start preparing for the mains. And for the answer keys, you can refer our website Kamaraj IAS Academy.com, where you will find the answer keys also. We will be coming with explanatory keys in 3 or 4 days, where we have explanation for all the answers too. So thank you. So I wish you all the best on behalf of Kamaraj IAS Academy.